We ride together.
We die together.
Bad marriage for life.
It was a divorce. So from the year 2016, which is 7 years ago now,
Yes.
y'all have been apart.
Yeah.
Y'all, it appears that Will and Jada Smith's marriage is finished, as Jada has just declared that they have split and are on the verge of divorcing. But when Will made the shocking announcement that he had divorced Jada, everyone was taken aback. You won't believe why he ultimately lost it and dumped her either. Was Jada really secretly in love with Tupac all this time? Although I truly didn't want to, we only got married because. Therefore, 2023 is unquestionably the year of the Hollywood divorce. Additionally, Will and Jada just boarded the train after declaring their separation. They might file for divorce at any moment. It's amazing how they went from being a prominent Hollywood couple to having their marriage ridiculed by fans. And the fact that their breakup is being celebrated by the public shows how much the public came to despise them when they were together. They were just the embodiment of enduring black love in Hollywood for a short period of time. However, that all changed in 2020 when the whole entanglement drama occurred, and individuals began to constantly talk about how unhappy their marriages were. Their reputation was destroyed by the drama, and their marriage was never viewed in the same light again. Now that I've jogged your memory, I'm going to talk about the moment rapper August Alsina came forward to admit that he had an affair with Jada. And get this, he claimed Will had approved of the relationship. In fact, Will and I had a chat when we were seated. He gave me the go-ahead, and for many years of my life, I fully committed to that relationship. You guys, this entire entanglement story has caused a ton of trouble, especially for Jada. Thus, if August is to be believed, this entire incident took place in 2016 when Jada was 44 and August was 23. Even though there was a significant age difference, it wasn't the primary topic of conversation. The real stinger was that back then, August was like a member of the family. He was staying at the Smiths' house because he was going through a difficult time in his life and had some health problems. He was also buddies with Jade and their son in addition to all of that. Therefore, the fact that Jada became acquainted with him created some questions. But afterward, the Smiths made the choice to attend the red table discussion with their family company. Will then addressed the situation and claimed that he never gave August the go-ahead for the affair. Additionally, they asserted that the affair took place while they were taking a short break. And once they had repaired the damage, she cut it off. We were going through a very trying time, you and I, yeah. We came to the conclusion that I was done with you. You did indeed throw me out. I had had enough of you. Yeah, however, marriages already have that. Yeah, relationships have that. Yes, we essentially parted ways. Now, I want all of you to remember this because we'll come back to it in a moment. So anyhow, she eventually confessed to having the relationship with August. What did you do after that, Jada? Well, I believe that after that, as time passed, I became involved with August in a different way. The iconic red tablecloth incident unleashed a veritable bag of worms, with Jada bearing the brunt of the criticism. After the entanglement drama, people began to grasp how seriously screwed up things were between them, and it was like watching a train wreck in slow motion. Jada's remarks didn't help either because, in the opinion of her admirers, she implied that she didn't really want to remain with Will. In fact, she dropped the bombshell that she had never even wanted to wed Will, claiming that her mother had only compelled her to do so. We just got married because Dammy was crying since I truly didn't want to get married. Being a young actress, pregnant, and under so much pressure, I simply didn't know what to do. Nevertheless, I was certain that I had no desire to be married. Then there was the time Will disclosed that he had spent years organizing the ideal 40th birthday party for her, because she had been going through a bit of a midlife crisis. Jada didn't appreciate the party or his efforts, and believed that Will was just putting on a show for the public to watch in order to stroke his ego. I hired a crew to plan her 40th birthday after her 37th birthday. I tracked down Mommy's family history by hiring a documentary team. It was going to be the thing that helped her get over her midlife crisis, and it was also going to be my most heartfelt and exquisite declaration of love for her. I told myself that my egotistical celebration was the worst exhibition possible. Oof. Additionally, she once openly admitted that Will doesn't make her feel satisfied in the bedroom. Tell me what you want and what you need, and don't forget that I have a responsibility to do the same. Do you too? I do my best. To be fair to her, she did acknowledge that she needed to convey her requirements more effectively, stating that she would stop making up stories because she had time today. See for yourself in the red table discussion I had with Gwyneth Paltrow. The fact that she made videos of Will in which she insulted him while he was obviously uncomfortable, and then posted them online made Will look bad, even though Will and I never had a problem in the bedroom. Oh, and can we also talk about the fact that she makes videos of him in which she insults him while he's obviously uncomfortable? Would you agree that she played a significant role in the redefinition of our relationship between us? I would advise against starting to record me without first getting my permission. Please come back and assist us. I'm still having to deal with stupidity. Don't. Nah, she could because she could, but don't just do that. Yes, there was a lot of discussion about how Jada presumably has a secret hatred for Will. Fans were persuaded, though, when an old letter Willow addressed to Tupac turned up online. And for many admirers, this was the tipping point. Some sources claim that Willow penned the letter to Tupac when she was just 11 years old. Dear Tupac, I know you are alive somewhere, she wrote. I believe my mother is genuinely missing you. Could you please return? Please return so that Mommy and I can be happy. You should be here, please. I adore Willow a lot. Even while Willow's decision to write this letter was awful enough, the fact that Will had frequently expressed his insecurities about Jada and how much she cared for Tupac made the situation even worse. Before he passed away, Jada and Tupac were close friends, and Will has acknowledged that he envied Jada's love for Tupac. Oh sure, but she adored him and thought he was the epitome of perfection. But she was with the Fresh Prince, so I was unable to speak to him even though we were in the same room on a few occasions. This was already a poor situation, but what made it worse was the fact that Tupac had died before Willow was even born. Fans also theorized that Jada had inundated Willow with so many Tupac stories that the child had taught her to believe that he would be a better father figure for Jada than her own father. Oh, and do you recall how she intimated that Will was having trouble pleasing her in bed? She essentially came out and admitted that she has a serious time addiction. My particular addictions leap. They leap about. I'm sure I had some sort of sex addiction when I was younger. Yes, that sexual activity may solve all problems. Yes, you understand what I mean. It's the way they act. It has a behavior associated with it. Because even though it's nice if you want to have a lot of sex, why are you doing it? That is what you need to lick. You get what I'm saying? Then there's the controversy surrounding Will slapping Chris Rock at the Oscars last year after the comedian made a joke about Jada's alopecia. Don't mention my wife in any conversation. Wow, man. A G.I. Jane joke was used. Don't mention my wife in any conversation. Okay, I'm going to. I can, okay. Jada did, however, receive a lot of backlash following the slap, which was puzzling given that she in no way requested that Will slap Chris. Fans, on the other hand, thought she was dragging the issue out too long and accused her of trying to capitalize on the circumstance. Will expressed regret for the slap, stating that all forms of violence are poisonous and destructive. My conduct at the Academy Awards last night was improper and unacceptable. Jokes made about me are commonplace, but the one regarding Jada's health was too much for me to take, and I lost it. Additionally, he explicitly apologized to Chris Rock, saying, I'd like to publicly apologize to you, Chris. I made a mistake and stepped out of line. I feel ashamed because I did not act like the man I want to be. In a world of love and kindness, violence has no place. Jada, though, kept quiet about the turmoil for several weeks, but just as everyone was beginning to forget about the turmoil, she finally brought it up on the Red Table Talk, telling Will and Chris to essentially put aside their differences and hug it out. Regarding Oscar night, my sincerest wish is for these two smart, accomplished guys to have the chance to mend fences, resolve their differences, and find peace. We require them both given the status of the world today. To be fair to Jada, Will too experiences more drama than is fair, despite the fact that he is far better at concealing it. For instance, following the entanglement drama, he essentially admitted having relationships with women other than Jada, and even stated his desire to have a harem of women, including Halle Berry and Misty Copeland. I don't know where I saw it or some material as a youngster, but the thought of going on a trip with 20 people that I cared for and loved seemed like a very amazing idea, he claimed. But you know, at least they have the self-awareness to recognize how dysfunctional their marriage was. We traveled together and passed away together. Forever bad marriage. I'll never forget that line. But at this point, we believed them on their word and reasoned that their unhappy marriage for the rest of their lives definitely couldn't be any worse. However, things actually got worse, because Jada recently acknowledged in an interview that she and Will have been apart for the full 6 years. You and Will agreed to live entirely separate lives in 2016 for this reason. Although it wasn't officially declared, there was a divorce. You two haven't spoken since 2016, which was 7 years ago. Yeah, now go ahead and pull out your calculators. If the calculations are correct, it follows that she and Will have been apart for 7 years. She did, however, mention that she and Will had split up in 2016 before getting back together during the entanglement red table discussion. She discontinued her relationship with Altina, August's wife, for that reason. We were going through a very trying time, you and I, yeah. We came to the conclusion that I was done with you. You did indeed throw me out. I had had enough of you. Yeah, marriages hardly have that though. Yeah, relationships have that. It's crazy to think about how they've essentially been playing in our faces for all these years. Like, y'all listen, what the hell is going on with these two? But Jada stated this, in case you're wondering why it took her so long to reveal it. Simply not being prepared, in my opinion. We're still figuring out how to work together as a team, I suppose. And in terms of how we communicate that to others, you know. And we hadn't made the connection. There's a lot to understand here. And if you're wondering why they are only revealing it now, it's because insiders claim that Will is now finished and divorced. He simply can't face the thought of continuing his marriage with Jada, so he is now prepared to end it. The insider further stated that Will has suddenly grown uneasy with Jada's fascination with Tupac, which is the cause of the abrupt news. The insider added that the Smith family is up to speed on all the drama. And in case you missed it, the Tupac murder probe is almost over. Jada's fascination with Tupac has only grown stronger, and Will is finally prepared to finalize the divorce because he simply can't handle it any longer. I hope Will finds the love of his life for his latter years. People have been writing in the comments on the streets, which are currently shaking. It is obvious that Jada believed Tupac was and still believes this. Will could never match his ghost in strength. While Jada continues to tweet about her odd relationship with Tupac and that she has moved on from it, Will gets into arguments over his ex or the mother of his children. And this woman chose Will Smith as her partner. Tupac and Jada would be happily married with children if he were still alive. Her true love passed away, so she made do with Will, who was the next best thing. There was a lot to process for you guys. But what do you guys think of the predicament? Do you believe Will is acting appropriately by attempting to end this marriage, or do you believe he should remain Miss Jada's side? This union, or should he remain at Miss Jada's side instead? Check out this following video and then leave your thoughts and comments below.